Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the BFA class review series. My name is Mr. Couchy, and I will lay out for you some of the changes affecting Restoration Druid going into battle for Azeroth. Although we are close to the end of beta, some of this is still subject to change, so don't take everything said here as law. Restoration Druids in Legion were tier 1 healers in both dungeons and raids because of their output and utility. In order to be a good one, you have to be able to play, essentially, 4 specs in 1. It required legendaries from 4 specs, and abilities that you were always weaving between bear, cat, and caster form. When executed well, they were spectacular. So what's changed? Well, not a whole lot. Healing Touch, Living Seed, and Regrowth's initial heal that has a 40% increased chance for a critical effect have all been removed. Regrowth is the new Healing Touch, and Living Seed is being taken away to get the burst healing away to fit their niche a little bit more. Rebirth had its cast time changed from instant to 2 seconds, but returns players to 100% health. Shred and Mangle have become baseline for all specs, and Efflorescence, Life Bloom, Nature's Cure, Wild Growth, Rejuvenation, and Tranquility all received number tunes. Ironbark had its cooldown changed from 1.5 to a minute cooldown, and Swiftman got a minor buff, having its cooldown changed from 30 seconds to a 25-second recharge. These last two are especially important for Mythic Plus dungeons, slightly helping to fill the gaps, allowing for something major every 30 seconds, or for every pack in a dungeon. Many quality of life changes are coming to Restoration, and the new additions are pretty cool. Displacer Beasts and Omen of Clarity are now gone. In their places, you have Photosynthesis. While your Life Bloom is on yourself, your Rejuvenations heal 30% faster, and while your Life Bloom is on an ally, your periodic heals on them have a 4% chance to cause it to bloom. You also receive Tiger Dash, which activates cat form and increases move speed by 200%, reducing gradually over 5 seconds. Flourish got a huge buff because of the loss of your artifact weapon. It now extends the duration of all your heal over time effects on friendly targets within 60 yards by 8 seconds, and increases the rate of your heal over time effects by 100% for 8 seconds. It had its cooldown changed from a minute to a minute and a half, but it's just like they took the old Flourish and your artifact ability and just smooshed them together. This is definitely a great change. The last talent of note is that Stonebark reduces the cooldown of Ironbark by 15 seconds, and it increases healing from your heal over time effects by 20%. It is definitely a nice change and pretty much becomes a necessity for dungeons at higher mythics. So how does it play? It still feels great. I was never a big resto guy, I just couldn't get behind the hot play style because I just can't trust my heals to do their thing. Blizzard always likes to throw in some random bursts of damage at random times to prevent my enjoyment of it. With a higher focus on Mythic Plus this expansion, based on the success of it in Legion, it will force players to learn encounters to the full extent that will lend themselves to better hot min-maxing. I think they will still be sought after for raids as the filler raid healer, but with the nice changes to Ironbark and Flourish, dungeons will still have a good support character willing to push. How did you think Restoration felt in Legion, and how do you think it will perform in BFA? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for sticking around, like and subscribe, and in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.